Dear students, researchers and the professionals of library information science, season's best greetings to you. Myself Kripanand Jha, a senior lecturer at the Department of Library and Information Science in the Mirabai Institute of Technology, New Delhi. Friends, today we are here to discuss documentation services, especially the abstracting services which comes under the documentation services. As far abstracting service is concerned, it is a very important service of any library and information center. In this presentation today, we are going to discuss the introduction, which will cover the introduction of abstracting, its purpose, definition, then the type of abstracting, abstracting services in library, abstracting services by information centers, information system. Then we will discuss all these topics that what have been achieved by this discussion or the presentation. As far abstract are concerned, abstract are an information or important component of many primary and secondary publications. It is very important for current awareness services and computerized databases. As far definition is concerned, the abstract is a concise and accurate representation of content of a document in a style similar to that of the original document. Now, if you see the definition of abstract, then it says that it is a concise representation of the document. Suppose there is an article or there is a book and we are representing it in the form of abstract, then the abstract will be actual presentation in very condensed form of that book or article. So, the abstract is very important in that way that it provides the researcher or the reader the condensed form of a very large document or very big document which user don't want to consider without knowing about it. It gives the outline, it gives the style, it gives the nature attributes of the document, on the basis of which a reader decides whether the reader or the researcher should consult that original document or not. So, as so far the purpose of abstract is concerned, the abstract aids to the reader in assessing the content of a document and their potential relevance to the subject or the topic of the researcher on which the researcher is wanting to work on. Abstract helps reader to decide whether the reader should go for entire document or reader should not consult the document. It helps user in locating documents published in other language also. As so far language is concerned, that we know that almost 80% of technical and research information are published in other than English language. So, whatever the documents are getting published in other languages which are not in English, and there is a researcher of English language or the researcher knowing English language, then how the researcher will know the content which are published in other language. So, abstract is one of the very important source through which the researcher or reader know what have been published in other languages. So, it helps the reader in locating the documents which are published in other language. Then the abstract helps readers in remembering the key findings on a topic. The reader often keep abstracts to remind them which source supports the conclusion. Then it also helps readers in understanding the text by acting as a pre-reading outline of the key points. Like while a reader, a researcher read the abstract, understand the abstract, so the reader know the outline, overall outline of the information content in original document. So, before reading the original document, the researcher or the reader knows the outline. So, it is a kind of familiarity, familiar way or familiar content coming up in the original document or original information. So, abstract helps in that way also. Before reading the original document, it makes familiar with the document. Then the abstract with their keywords help readers to review hundreds of abstract quickly instead of going through the original documents. So, now you assume that if being a researcher, if you are a researcher and you have to assess or go through hundreds and thousands of documents, and then you will have to decide which document is relevant for you and which document is not relevant for you. So, in that condition, how much time and resources will you spend? But here if you are referring the abstract or with the help of keywords which are in the abstract, it helps you in selecting only those documents which are very much relevant to the topic or the subject of your interest. So, this is very much relevant in saving the resource. This is very much relevant in saving the time of the researchers, as it gives you the opportunity to scan very large amount of documents through abstract. Now, if you see the body of abstract, then in the abstract a typical abstract contains name of the author, affiliation of the author, title of the document, indication of the language of the documents, then bibliographical detail of the document, or we say in print, then actual abstract. So, this is the typical format. Then at last it contains the references of which has been given in the original documents. So, this is a typical body or structure of the abstract. After analysis of abstract or abstracting process, we are finding that the abstracts having different types. There are different styles, there are different format, there are different types of content. So, on the basis of these attributes, abstracts are being categorized in 6 different types. So, first is informative abstract, second is indicative abstract, third is indicative informative abstract, fourth is critical abstract, fifth is slanted abstract, and sixth is highlight abstract. And one more category is that is statistical. The highlight abstract is not very much the type of abstract, or we do not consider it as it has not independent identity as an abstract, but some of the expert of abstracting says that it is also a kind of abstract. So, if we include a highlight abstract, then it is 7 types of abstract. So, the first type is informative abstract. This kind of abstract, I mean informative abstract, provides detail about the substance in document. It presents as much as possible of the quantitative and qualitative information contained in the document. The indicative abstracts present a clear condensation of the principal arguments and finding of the original documents. Now, the second format is that informative abstract. So, informative abstract identify the information, bibliographic citation of other identification of the document, its concise statement of the main points including initial problems of other backgrounds of the information content of the original document, then the methodology used in the original documents, then the findings, key findings, then the major conclusion. Informative abstract and indicative abstract both are looks very similar, but as so far the content is concerned, it is very much different. Informative abstract is the actual presentation of the original document, while indicative abstract is the not complete presentation of document. It is a kind of abstract which is very much superficial in nature, it gives outline and all these things. So, the indicative abstract and informative abstract, if you compare these two abstract, then the informative abstract is more inclusive, more comprehensive, more informative and more helpful for the researcher. Next, the third one, indicative informative abstract. The indicative informative abstract, this type of abstract has both indicative and informative component. The part of abstract written in informative style, while it is less important aspect of the document is treated as indicative. So, the important aspect of any document, if you are going to abstract a document in this format of indicative informative abstract format, then you have to write informative style to those aspects of the documents which are very important, and those attributes and aspects of the documents which are not so much important will be written in the indicative style. So, it is combination of both informative and indicative style, and if you follow this style of abstracting, then it is very much very complete in nature and it is very helpful to the researchers. But it depends on the nature of documents. Every style, every type of abstract is not being written for every kind of document. Then the next type is critical abstract. This is also known as the evaluative abstract. Evaluative abstract or critical abstract normally indicates the depth and extent of the work, commenting on the adequacy of experiment and survey methodology, the assumed background of the intended audience and the significance of the contribution to the development of the knowledge. Now, this abstract is a kind of expert review in very condensed form to the original work. It discusses its content, its finding as well as its result and its impact on the knowledge. This abstract is especially effective in pinpointing documents of exceptional interest. So, it is a different kind of abstract, and it is being written by very much expert of the subject and having very good knowledge of the subject as well as abstracting system. Then the next category is slanted abstract. Slanted abstract is a kind of audience oriented abstract. It is slanted towards the audience or the researcher for which it has been written. So, in this abstract only those aspects are being highlighted of the original documents which are concerned of your audience or for whom you are writing. For example, if you are an organization or a research organization which are working on textile industries. So, if there is a document which has a very long discussion on other aspects and which has very small discussion on textile also. So, what will you do? You will take that only small part which deals with the textile and you will leave the larger part of the document untouched. So, in your abstract only that portion will be contained, that portion will be collected and presented. So, this kind of abstract is known as a slanted abstract. Then slanted abstract is being written by a particular organization which has particular set of audience, and it is not for general publication or general reader. It is for very specialized reader or very specialized set of researchers. Then the next category is highlight abstract. As in the beginning I have told you that the highlight abstract is not qualifying as even the type of abstract, as it has not the independent identity, but it has the relevance. So, if you have gone through several documents or even a book or an article, you might have found that in a text box some highlighted points are being given. Even in the newspaper you will find that in the either left side or right side or somewhere within the article you will find there is a text box and the very highlighted points are being given within that text box. So, such kind of abstract is known as highlight abstract, and this kind of abstract is not being written for the researcher, but its feature is to attract the audience to the literature, to the article, or if it is in the book chapter, then to the book chapter. Then the next and final type of abstract is statistical, tabular and numerical abstract. Such abstract, I mean statistical, tabular and numerical abstract provides summarized numerical data in the tabular form on or in the format used in original documents. So, this is basically for a statistical data or tabular presentation of the content of any original documents. It usually conveys certain types of economic, social, marketing data or the data of share market, like that. Wherever there is very big data or wherever there is generation of big data or wherever there is big tables, or if there is big statistical analysis in any document, then what was the data, what was the analysis, all these are being discussed in this kind of abstract. Then this is especially for the statistical presentation of the data. Now, we are going to abstracting service. These up to this in the discussion we have discussed abstract and different types of abstract, features of abstracts, purpose of abstract. Now, let us discuss the abstracting service. Abstracting service, as far as abstracting services are concerned, abstracting services are being provided by a particular library. It is being published by the corporate houses or professional societies or professional body or subject expert bodies and the corporate houses and even the government institution agencies provides abstracting service in the form of periodicals or in the form of database. There are many national and international organizations or there are international information centers which are working on abstracting service, especially covers hundreds and thousands of literature, especially primary literature like periodical or scholarly periodicals and their articles of different languages, not of only one language. They scan hundreds of thousands of periodicals in different languages and bring out the abstract and bring out in the form of either publication or in the form of databases. So, abstracting service by library has become very less important now, because it is a kind of in-house service and library has not that big coverage of the resources or the periodicals or the primary source primary information sources. Hence, their abstracting service is very limited, but whatever they have, if there is need, they provide. Sometimes if a kind of exhibition, if a library provides going to organize an exhibition, and in such cases the library provides abstract of its collection for the users. Then there is bulletin. Under bulletin, library also provides abstracts. Some special libraries has its SDI service. In SDI service also they provides abstract of their own collection. So, there are a number of organizations which provides in-house abstracting service, but abstracting service has very much importance when it covers very large, very big amount of information sources. So, for this the information centers, documentation centers or the information system, national international information systems, they are working and they provides these kind of abstracts, and they provides abstract in the periodical form and they provides abstract in the database form. Some of the periodicals, abstracting periodicals are as Indian Science Abstract. It is being provided by published by Niskayor, and also it is in the form of database. Then Indian Psychological Abstract and Review, it is published by SAGE. It is a corporate organization. It is published by SAGE. Then there is Agriculture and Environmental Biology Abstract. It is being published by Bethesda, which is in USA. It is a Cambridge Scientific Abstract. Then there is Library and Information Science Abstract, which is popularly known as LISA. This is the product of Library Association London, and it is monthly in nature. It is being published since 1969. So, when in the print form it was a monthly periodical, but now it is being updated on the daily basis in the database. So, likewise there are hundreds and thousands of print periodical which abstracting periodical which comes in the printed form. Now, there are almost all the abstracting journals, and the publisher of all the abstracting journals are bringing it in the form of databases, and there are so many national and international organizations which are working uh, on a particular subject or on the area of subject, on the subject area on which they are expert, and they bring a kind of digital or electronic database and make it accessible worldwide to the people, either on the subscription basis or it is free of cost. Like National Library of Medicine USA, it brings the abstract in the medicine field of medicine, and they have almost 17 different databases and different topics, and it is making it available free of cost on internet as Medlar's database, and the group name is PubMed database on the internet, but in the print form it comes as Medlar's index or Medlar's abstract periodical. So, like again in the field of agriculture, it is UN this agriculture, food and agriculture organization of the United Nations, it brings AGRIS. Then there is atomic energy. For atomic energy, there is International Atomic Energy Agency, it brings the database ENIS. Then the American Chemical Society brings database that is chemical abstract. Then likewise there are hundreds of databases, there are EBSCO, then there is Web of Science, then likewise Quest Pro, ProQuest, likewise elsewhere, likewise there was so many corporate houses also which provides this kind of abstracting databases to the researchers and the subject experts worldwide. As so far the abstracting service is concerned, we have discussed today. It is very much important for the scholar and researchers worldwide, and it is very much popular in locating the document, in deciding whether the researcher should go for original document or not. Like abstracting services are being provided by the library, it is being provided by the information centers, documentation centers, and there are information systems which are working internationally, like I have told you the Medlars, like INIS which works on in nuclear science, like there is AGRIS which works on agricultural science. Likewise, there are hundreds of organizations which are working to provide its researchers the abstract and access and exposure to the world literature on different subject and different topics. So, we have discussed all these aspects of abstract and abstracting service. Hope it will help all of you in understanding the abstracting service, types of abstracts, its products, in its form of availability, and different organization working for the abstracting services. Thank you friends. I hope that it will help you in your research work, in your study. We will again come to the same platform with another topic. Till then, thanks.